Welcome to Virtual STEM Club Littles Edition, the Festive Fireworks. My name is Miss Eileen, and I'm going to be taking you through today's project where we are going to create our own little mini fireworks with a chemical reaction. So you should have already received your Take and Make bag here at the library. That's going to have all of the supplies that you need for today's project. Now caregivers, you are also going to want to cover your surface that you're working on, either with some paper towel or some newspaper, or you might even want to do this project outside because it does get a little bit messy. All right, are we ready to get started? Let's get to it. Before we jump into our experiment for today and actually mixing our ingredients, I just want to go over what is in your Take and Make bag. So there should be a blue star paper plate, a blue spoon, a mini container full of glitter, a bigger container full of baking powder, or baking soda, excuse me, which is white. And then you're gonna have this bottle with liquid, and it might look like water because it's clear, but it's actually vinegar, and you will definitely notice that once you actually open it up. And caregivers, what we've done is there is tape on each of the lids of these three items. So what I'm gonna ask you to do is to remove that tape, and then we can get started with our step-by-step instructions in creating our chemical reactions and therefore our mini fireworks. Okay, so we are now officially ready for step number one. We have all of our supplies laid out for our experiment. We have the tape removed from the tops of our three containers that we received. So now what we're gonna do is we are actually gonna start mixing our ingredients to create that chemical reaction. And what's gonna happen is we are going to first start off with the tube of glitter. So this is our glitter, and go ahead and open that up. And because we can do this project a few different times over and over and over again, littles, what I'm gonna have you do is use your spoon, and you're just gonna take one little spoonful of that glitter and you're gonna put it in the middle of your paper plate. Okay? So there. I've taken my spoon and I put just a heap of that glitter in the middle of my plate. Okay. So then what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our tube of baking soda and we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna go ahead and take the lid off. And then I'm gonna take my spoon and I'm gonna scoop some heaps of the baking soda onto my paper plate, and we're gonna put it right over that glitter. And you might be thinking, Miss Eileen, what are we doing? We're covering our glitter. But wait, when we add our vinegar to finally create our chemical reaction between the vinegar and the baking soda, you're gonna see why we put the glitter at the bottom, because it comes up as the chemical reaction does its thing. So now what we're gonna do is we are going to set aside our other supplies because we don't want to ruin those. Again, we don't know how crazy this little chemical reaction is going to get, but we're going to see some bubbles, it's going to get fizzy, and it's going to be really exciting here in just a second. So once you have your glitter and your baking soda in the middle of your paper plate, you're going to get your tube of vinegar. And remember, it looks like water, but when you open it, if you give it a tiny little sniff, you'll notice that it smells like vinegar and is definitely not water. And make sure you're not drinking any of that. We don't want you to drink any of it. Okay, so are we ready, littles? I think we are. All right, here we go for the final step. We're gonna add our vinegar. Woo! Look at that. Oh my gosh, that was so fun. And the fun part about this project is that you can just keep pouring small amounts of your vinegar, and it's just gonna keep bubbling, and you're gonna see that glitter go all over the place. And you could even mix around and see what happens if you start to mix things around. You'll notice this is very, very bubbly. And the fun part about this project too is that we have given you enough supplies that you can do it a few times over and over and over again. You could do bigger ones, you could do smaller ones. So, do you guys want to try it again? All right, let's do it one more time all together. Okay, littles and caregivers, so what I did is I just dumped my mixture into the garbage that I had a clean plate. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my spoon and use some of that glitter again. And this time, I am gonna see what happens when I spread it around the outside of my plate. I haven't tried this yet. I'm just curious to see what will happen when I do this a second time. And I still have enough glitter to do this project a third time if I wanted to. So I've got my glitter around the outside. And now I'm gonna take my baking soda and do the same thing. I have a feeling this time it's gonna get a little bit messier than the first time when I did this. Okay, so I've set my ingredients aside. I've got my vinegar, and now we're gonna see what happens when I pour it along the outside. Thank you all so much for joining me for today's Littles Edition Virtual STEM Club Festive Fireworks. If you have any pictures or videos of you completing the experiment today, we would love to see those. You can send them to us at the library via the email address on your screen below. And I hope you had some fun today learning about chemical reactions and mixing ingredients and seeing what happens. All right, until next time, bye for now.